talk to our friends from NuMark Credit Union. Today, we're going to help you get control over your debt. I'd like to remind you that tailgate season is back, and so is NuMark Credit Union's tailgate auto loan sale. Save money with auto rates as low as 2.49% APR for 37 to 63 months. This applies to new or pre-driven cars and trucks. They also refi auto loans. Didn't know you could do that, did you? Well, you can at NuMark. Do more with your money and apply today. Call NuMark at 815-729-3211 or apply online at newmarkcu.org. That's newmarkcu.org. Limited time offer. Some restrictions apply. NuMark Credit Union, where you are family. Mack Story is a training manager with NuMark, and he joins us live this morning on the Turk Furniture Studio line. Hey, Mack.
Hello. How's it going?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you very much. It's good to have you on board. Today we're going to talk about getting control and power over your debt, which is extremely important, now so more than ever. Before we do that, tell everybody a little bit about yourself. What is a training manager, and what do you do at NuMark?
I am actually the operations trainer here at NuMark. I train all the employees on the operations, the software, the systems that we use, and that kind of stuff. So I do have training classes pretty much every week. We're on a hiring spree right now.
I hear you. Absolutely so. Well, good, Mac. Thanks for coming on. We appreciate it. So we're going to talk about tips to manage debt, because you've seen it all basically, right? You've been doing this for a while.
Oh, yes. Been doing it for about 22 years. So, Yeah, I've seen everything that you can possibly think of.
Been there, done that. Okay, so definition-wise, what is debt?
So the definition of debt, that would be money that you borrow with an understanding and agreement or contract you will repay the funds. That's the technical definition.
So it's not a grant. It's not a scholarship. It's not free money.
Right.
You have to pay it back, and you will have to pay it back with interest.
Most of the time, yes.
Okay. All right. Most of the time, yes. All right. What is required to dig your way out of serious? Well, before we do that, what are the different levels of debt? Because some debt is acceptable. I mean, we own homes. Very few people own their home outright. Some people don't ever want own their home outright because they want the tax advantages and all of that stuff, and we can get into that later if we have more time. But what are the different levels of debt in your eyes?
So there is such thing as good debt, but there's also bad debt. So the levels are your good debt. That is what increases your net worth, or it helps you to generate value. So good debt allows you to manage your finances more effectively, to leverage your wealth by buying things that you need, and to handle unforeseen emergencies. So your good debt, you're looking at your mortgages, your auto loans, anything that's going to increase your value, because you do earn equity in both of those things as an auto loan and a mortgage. Your bad debt, that is the debt that does not increase your wealth or is used to purchase goods or services that have no lasting value. That's buying those luxuries that you really can't afford, carrying debt with high interest rate credit cards, that kind of thing. That's your bad debt.
Wait a minute. So that airline ticket that I just bought to California is not good debt?
Well, if you put it on a credit card, it depends on your credit card and if you pay it off every month, that kind of thing. You know, it can be good debt as long as you pay it off.
Make me feel all guilty here, Mac. I was looking forward to a nice trip. Now I'm thinking twice about it. Thanks a lot.
Sorry about that.
That's all right. Okay. So I'm guessing I know the answer to this next question, but correct me if I'm wrong or make any additions or subtractions. The way to dig out of serious debt is to, I guess, take that first step and admit that, hey, I do have serious debt. I got to make a change.
Absolutely. You once you figure that out and you know you have to make that change, that's when you actually get started. You want to create and maintain a budget. You've got to have willpower. You got to stay on top of it, perseverance, a commitment to the change, and make a serious plan. Don't just think about it. Actually put it on paper and actually break it down, and everything with your plan. Breaking old habits, stopping at that, getting that coffee every morning, that kind of thing. You can stop doing that, start making your coffee at home, stop eating out, and that kind of stuff. Stay home and cook dinner. It's a little cheaper that way. So those are some of the things that you can do to start your plan to get out of that serious debt.
Yeah, and that really is what's required to dig your way out of debt is just that mindset, I guess.
Yes.
We're talking to Mack Story. He is a training manager with NuMark Credit Union. Get control and power over your debt. So the first step is, I get what? Probably organizing everything and finding out exactly what you owe.
That would be one of the first steps, yes. But also, too, you want to ask yourself, can I afford this before you make a purchase on credit? You always want to look at, because we know we have those credit cards, and it makes it really easy to purchase things that we technically can't afford because we'll make that monthly payment, and get it paid off. If you can't afford that, if you don't have it to pay for it, more than likely, you shouldn't buy it, and that kind of thing. Try to keep it cash. Try to keep spending on cash instead of trying to spend on credit.
Okay. All right. That makes good sense. Now, we touched on this a little bit earlier, but let's get back into it and get maybe a little bit deeper. The pros and cons of credit.
Okay. Your pros of credit, if it's used wisely, credit can enhance your lifestyle. It makes it easier to purchase larger items like a home, a car, or even pay for education. If you use your credit wisely, you're going to have a high credit score, which means you're going to have lower interest rates. So we do have to finance that vehicle or, purchase that home. Your rates are going to be a little lower. Now, your cons, on the other hand, is you can overspend, or you spend money that you don't have, like on a credit card. It can cause stress or high anxiety when you think about nothing but your debt and everything. It's kind of hard to sleep at night when you shut your eyes and that's all you think about is the money that's owed.
Yeah, no doubt about that. So you mentioned, I think it's worth pointing out again, having good credit will, yes, allow you to borrow money, but you will be able to borrow money, Mac, at a lower rate. I think that's very important.
Yes, correct.
Yep. And that could mean thousands of dollars on the life of an auto loan and even more so when it comes to a mortgage.
Absolutely. I mean, you said in the intro there that we're offering auto loan rates right now as low as 2.49 for people who have that good credit score and everything, so that you do get the lower rates if your credit score is higher.
Okay. Good. All right. How do we know if we're using too much credit?
Spending more than you have. If you're putting everything on credit, if you're skipping payments on some bills to pay other bills, if you're making just the minimum payments on your credit cards, paying those day-to-day bills with credit cards can be a sign, or if your credit cards are maxed out, you've kind of overspent and you're using too much credit.
Okay. All right. Let's talk about credit score. It is important. We know, and you're going to give us the levels that are acceptable and excellent and everything like that. But give us the definition of a FICO score, because people hear that if they're trying to borrow money. First thing, hey, what's a FICO score? So explain what that is in detail, please.
Okay. Your FICO score, it's actually assigned by the credit bureaus based on, whatever credit bureau you're using. There's 3 major credit bureaus out there. You've got Experian, TransUnion, and Equifax. But the score is actually made up of 5 different factors. This is what goes into creating your FICO score. 30% of it is on the amount that's owed, so the balances that you owe on your credit. 10% of it is new credit, so only get credit when it's absolutely necessary. 15% is the length of your credit history. So that's the length that you've had that credit card or that mortgage or that car loan, just the length of time that you've had it. 10% is your credit mix. So you do want a good mix of your credit. So you want credit cards, you want your mortgage, you want your car loan, different types of credit. And then 35% of it is your payment history. So that's making those payments on time each and every single month.
Okay. What are the different levels? What's the highest credit score you've ever seen?
The one that I've seen was an 850. That's the highest credit score I've ever seen. That is like the max that it will go. That's the best possible credit you can have. And then on the other hand of that, I've seen it as low as 300. Ooh. So it's all the way across the board. So just what you want to know is the higher the credit score, the better it is.
So 690, 710, those are all good scores?
Those are all good scores, yes.
Okay, good. What's the difference between, in a banker's eyes, let's say a 700 and an 800? What would that mean for the average person? Anything at all?
Here at NuMark, that just means you're going to get a little bit lower interest rate. You're still going to get a good interest rate at 700 score,
Okay.
And everything, but then you get up into that 800, it's going to go down a couple of points,
Okay.
depending on what you're borrowing and that kind of stuff.
Okay. And at what level do you say we really we need to do something about this? I mean, if we're talking low sixes, high fives, lower than that?
Well, we don't really look at the credit score as far as if we can borrow or give you money against it and everything. We kind of look at everything. We look at your payment history. We look at your credit mix. We look at those factors that I told you about earlier about
Sure.
the FICO score. The credit score just basically determines your rate. That's what the credit score does. We look at the full credit report to determine if we can give you money and that kind of thing. So it kind of goes over how you handle your credit as long as you're making your payments on time each month, you're not overextended, or you don't have a ton of unsecured debt that's on your credit report. So credit score basically just determines your rate.
Okay. Mac, what about college kids? I have a couple in college right now, and we're getting one a credit card because, he's a senior. He's got 3 more semesters left, but we want him to start establishing credit. Do you agree with that philosophy?
I do. I agree with that because you do have to start somewhere, but you just have to teach the kids, once you get that credit card, just because you have it doesn't mean you have to spend it. Just because you have a $500 credit limit doesn't mean you need to max it out. Maybe use that credit card and, buy school supplies and then just pay it off each month. Don't carry a balance and everything. Teach them right from the very beginning, and then they're going to have great credit as they get older.
Yep, no doubt about it. Mac Story from NuMark Credit Union joining us here on 1340 WJOL. So we've covered a lot up to this point. So kind of circling back around, tackling debt, kind of give us the run through once again to leave people with this thought in their mind.
Make a game plan. Sit down and write it down. Understand what you owe, and then get organized with it. The first thing you want to try to do is try to lower your interest rate. So if you can do that, debt consolidation loan and pay off those high rate credit cards for a lower interest rate on another loan, if you can do that, cut your spending. That way, you're not going and buying those things that you don't need, the things that you can do at home instead of buying it out. Sell what you don't need. So if you do have things around your house and you don't need them anymore, sell them. Make some money and pay off some of that debt. Eliminate what you can. And last, don't give up. When it gets hard, you got to stick to your plan. That willpower, you got to stay on top of it.
All right. Mac, how can NuMark help people with a debt management plan?
First thing is you want to give us a call, come in and talk to us, see one of our loan officers. We do have several debt consolidation loans that we can help you with. If you own your home, you may have equity in that, so we can do a home equity line of credit for you. We have personal loans that have a little bit lower interest rate than those credit cards do, and you can even use the title of your vehicle. So if you own your vehicle outright and you have the title, you can bring that in and we can give you a loan against that to pay off some of those credit card debts. And usually your auto loans interest rates are a little lower than your personal loans. But first step is give us a call and talk to a loan officer today, and we can go over all the details with you.
Okay. I like it. I like it a lot. Mac, thank you for your time, my friend. We'll spring you. I'm going to give away a $25 Visa gift card courtesy of NuMark. So thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, take care. Mac Story, training manager from NuMark Credit Union. All right, now my favorite part of the show, other than getting great information from Mac, of course, is to give away a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark Credit Union. The question today is, what was the highest credit score, Mac has ever seen? He mentioned it probably 6 or 7 minutes ago. The highest score. He said the lowest was in the 300s. What was the highest credit score he'd ever seen? 815-254-7300. Studio line brought to you by Turk Furniture. Call right now. Hi, good morning. You're on WJOL. Who's this?
This is Betty Clark.
Hi, Betty. Where are you calling from today?
Joliet.
Joliet, Illinois. All right. What was the highest one he'd ever seen?
I believe he said 850.
Are you sure?
Well, he said that's as high as it goes.
Are you positive?
I think so.
You confident?
Yeah.
Okay,
usually.
good. There you go. I didn't want to talk you. I tried to talk you out of it, but you are the winner, Betty. Congratulations. You have won a $25 Visa gift card, compliments of NuMark. How about that?
Oh, that's wonderful. I can give it to one of the 11 grandchildren.
Oh, my word. You got 11?
Yeah.
You
and
need to start
sure.
that Christmas club up at NuMark Credit Union right now. They have one, Start pumping money into that sucker. That way you have enough money to pay for all the 11's Christmas presents.
Well, yeah, and I have 4 grades, so
Oh, gosh.
I'm well on my way. Yeah.
All right.
Oh, yeah, I shop all year round.
All right, buddy. Sounds good. Well, you have $25. It is at, just go through the drive-through at NuMark. Make sure you bring your driver's license. You can go in there anytime at all, and they'll have your name right there, okay?
Thank you so very much, and thank NuMark and Mr. Story.
You bet it. Thank you, Betty. We appreciate that. What a nice young lady. Very happy
you have a
to
good
get
day.
$25. Who wouldn't be happy to get $25, right? Heck yeah. All right, it's going to wrap things up for another edition of Money Talk, brought to you by NuMark Credit Union. Don't forget, you can get an auto loan as low as 2.49 for up to 63 months. How about that? Pre-driven cars as well, new obviously. And you can refi your auto loan if you have one. You're like, man, I'm just paying too much. Interest rate's bad. It's better now. You can refi. Just go to newmarkcu.org.